And hello everybody, welcome back to Parkour Pyramid. Today, hopefully we're gonna finish the map and I'm gonna just immediately fall and fail the jump. But yeah, today hopefully we'll be able to finish through this map. And yeah, very nice. I'm actually playing through some of these maps that I, said I was going to finish and then never did. Mostly because no new parkour maps are getting released. Oh, onto the tree. Yeah, it's driving me kind of insane, as I'm just like, where's all the parkour maps at, guys? Like, we're getting them. It's just a really slow trickle compared to, when I first started out doing this stuff, and it was just map. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy, please do remember to subscribe. Only like 30% of my viewers are subscribed or something like that. Yeah. And it really helps out. Anyway, onwards. Now, I do know this map's really long, so it's probably gonna take us a second to finish this up. I'm expecting another like 50 minutes to an hour or so for this one, just to kind of finish it off. We'll see. Might take a little longer, a little less long, but I figure it'll pretty much be perfect to, make a second video on it. Which is nice, given the current situation with, videos releasing, or maps releasing. Like, it's so annoying, because it feels like the parkour videos just keep doing better and better on my channel, while I'm sitting there looking at the release like, where's the new parkour maps? I need more parkour maps. But yeah, nah, it's fine. They'll come out when they come out, and I will play them when they come out. Not super worried about it. I just need to find, more content to make in the off time. So in that way I'm still, posting daily, staying on the grind. Okay. That was a bit of a weird way to have to go. Like, I hate how long these levels are. Because, like, right at the end of them all, there's always so much extra stress on the jumps. And I talked about this, I think, last time we played this one or when I did Parkour Paradise 3. It was one of the two. But, yeah, like, it just adds so much stress having so much that you've gone through that if you fall and die or whatnot, or just fall back to the start, you've so much to redo. It's just insane. Whee. One thing I really like about this map, compared to some of the previous, is they did a lot better with the levitation kind of pillars. Because in a lot of the other ones, it was kind of like you hit the top and your levitation's giving out and you have to barely make it off of what tiny amounts of levitation you have left. And if you're not immediately moving in the correct direction when you hit the top, you're not going to make it. And if you fall down, you're likely to die. So I definitely prefer it where it's currently at, where it's like you have a bit of extra time once you hit the top to take a look, figure out which way it is, and still have time to move. But at the same time, it's not overly long to the point where you're going to have gotten there and just be sitting there waiting. So yeah, I feel like it's at a really good point in this map. Like, almost too long even, but that's... I prefer that to too short in this situation. Oh, man. At least I'm falling there, not over the middle, where if I fall, I have to restart the entire level. Yeah, just slow it down. Not in a huge hurry to get through it. Sometimes parkour is just about, pacing. I feel like that's actually a lot of what parkour is about. Like, I've talked a lot about, hitting buttons at the right time and, having good cursor accuracy and stuff like that. But, like, that's kind of obvious stuff. Like, beyond that, I feel like tempo is one of the most important things to parkour. just based off of how much stuff like timing and momentum matters in parkour. Oh, map was being weird there. Okay. We should be fine. Here we go. Next level. I love those snake levels. Like I've always kind of liked snake type levels. Like if anybody on my channel remembers, one of my first parkour maps that well, actually the only one that I've ever posted like a speedrun type thing for was snake parkour. Granted, the one I ended up posting for it ended up being one of my worst runs by the time I was done with it, but I don't think I ever bothered to post another one. So that is kind of sad, but turned out fine. Okay, we need to make it to the water down here. I don't know. I still kind of hate those weird dropper things they throw in. Mostly just because I'm bad at droppers. If I was better at droppers, I wouldn't mind them so much. And I've gotten a bit better, but like I still have kind of the negative connotations with them, just off of the fact that I used to struggle so insanely much with droppers. So even though I'm a lot better than I used to be, it still kind of scares me whenever there's a dropper level in anything like this. Even though there's not really all that much reason to be scared, because typically they're pretty easy and there's a checkpoint right before them, and you know, there's a whole host of reasons why it's not a problem. I need to... What? Where in the... Is something below one of these carpet pieces? I don't know, I've seen weirder stuff. Chest is locked. I'm so confused. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, back onto the walls, maybe? And then slime blocks. Yeah, I can just barely make that off of the walls. Bam. This is awkward. I hate this. It's so stressful putting glass pane jumps like right at this point where we're so far in. Granted, there's only the one that anything super bad could have happened at, like a really far setback. For the most part, it would have been pretty small, regardless of where I fell. Okay, cool. We made it through 10 levels and fairly quickly, 8 minutes. I mean, it's probably going to be another like 50-minute video, and the speed of these first couple ones just kind of confirmed that. Probably about a minute per level like it was before. Boom. Like, I feel like I would enjoy... Oh, is that not what that button's for? I feel like I would enjoy this map more with how long it is and stuff. Oh, it makes a slime block appear with how long it is and all that. If it was my... if I was going through it not recording, I feel like length wouldn't be such a problem. Like, I don't like longer maps quite as much the more, like, since I record them all so much now, I don't really play them on my own. I don't like longer maps as much. Just because, you know, you're hitting that 50-minute mark and going, you know, can I make it to the end in time to make it worth finishing off the video, finishing off the map in this video, or is there not enough? Sorry, is there too much level left? And then it's also always like, if I do end this video off at this point, like when you hit the hour mark or whatever, will I have enough level left to come back to it? So there's always so many considerations that aren't just, you know, focused on enjoying the map. Which, not a big deal at all. It's just, you know, a different experience. The real thing I find interesting is how much I ended up enjoying recording and all that. Achievement unlocked, Underground City. Cool, cool. Guessing this is gonna be kind of like a go figure out your path sort of deal. But yeah. Like, I don't know why. Just it doesn't seem like the sort of thing that I would have expected based off of how I was when I was younger, that I would have ended up having a passion for and deeply enjoying and stuff like that. Like, I never... Parkour YouTuber would not have been something that I would have predicted myself doing in 5 years or whatever. Like, I always had an interest in doing YouTube stuff. But the other thing about it is every time I tried to start one up, I very quickly lost interest in it. Like, it wasn't a matter of, oh, I did it for a couple weeks and then, you know, my interest kind of died out. No, it was like I did a day of recording. I'm done now. And not going to come back to it ever. Which I don't feel too bad about, because I feel like part of what happened there is then as a result I was able to not have really all that much content from when I was really young, which in my opinion is more of a good thing, just because, you know, it's cringe and yeah, I don't know, it's excessive content from when you're young always seems like whenever somebody has something like that, that then later on, if they do continue doing YouTube stuff, it kind of like always comes back to haunt them a bit. Just because everybody knows that they associate your old channel with you, and you know, with how people are on the internet, like, there is no room for they were a different person at the time on the internet, really. Like, it's just kind of like, look, if you said something on the internet when you were at any age whatsoever, then we're going to associate it with you currently. Which, I don't know, it's pretty stupid. It makes sense based off of the way the internet's set up. And, like, you can't see people's faces, and, you know, even if you can just go pull up pictures and posts from, pictures and posts from them from years ago and stuff like that. So, like, it doesn't open up a lot of room to be able to, oh, interesting, to, deassociate yourself with previous years and stuff like that. I don't know. It's weird. Ooh, didn't make that. Okay, nice gold. So much gold. But yeah, I mean, for better or for worse. On one hand, like, if somebody does something really bad, like it's harder for them to, how do I put this? It's harder for them to deassociate themselves with it quickly. Like, and like I only mean this is a good thing for like really bad people. Like I remember I was watching Cinnamon Toast Ken and his How to Catch a Predator series, and he was talking about how, like, you know, the people that end up on the show end up in a spot where they can never really deassociate themselves from that, and they're pretty much always known as, you know, the guy that got caught being a predator. So it's like, you know, in situations like that, it's like, yeah, you know, it's probably a good thing that, you know, somebody that's done something like that, people, you know, be more aware of it and stuff like that. Because these are also the sort of people that, like, you know, if I understand properly, a lot of times they'll end up in a situation where, like, they have to inform their neighbors and stuff like that legally that they're, you know, were arrested for child predation in the past and stuff like that. But I'm not positive on that. I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere. But yeah, for people that's one of the things that comes along with it, even after they get out of jail. It's probably not a bad thing that, you know, everybody knows what they did in the past, because that's not the sort of thing that, you know, you can use the excuse of being young and dumb, because you can't even get arrested for that when you're below the age of 18. Well, I don't know. Law's weird on that, but still, like, just in general, it's with some of the stuff like that, it's, you know, probably a good thing that people can be aware and keep an extra eye on them and stuff like that. But then there's other stuff where it's like there are some things that do happen when you're just young and dumb and aren't stuff that should be associated with you forever. And that comes a lot more in line with, you know, some of the YouTube stuff. Like, think about, like, with some of the stuff Logan Paul's done, for example. Think about if he was more along the ages of, like, 17 and 18 and grew out of them and became more of a, you know, refined person. Think about how tough that would be to live the rest of your life with people knowing you when you were not the most respectable person. Like, that would stink if that just followed you around for the rest of your life. And, you know, that's a spot where it's a little harder to defend the, you know, idea of, like, you know, in any way spinning it to make it sound like a good thing. So I don't know. As with most things, it's like, I don't have a perfect answer or anything like that. I have some ideas and, you know, thoughts on the matter, but not, you know, perfect answers. Which, like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, it's a difficult question to tackle, but I find that tackling more difficult questions can a lot of times lead to being able to make more refined judgments on other problems because you've tackled the harder questions in the past and stuff like that and thought them through. It makes it easier to think through future problems and stuff like that. I don't know. Shulker box is locked. Wow. Imagine locking your shulker box instead of just putting it in your inventory. It'd be so easy to just put it in your inventory. Or your ender chest. Or maybe you have too much stuff in your ender chest / inventory and have to put it down. In that case, you'd want it locked, I guess. You know, I'd be interested. Like, I've seen some of the videos. Like, this is totally off topic now. But, like, the whole locking and, like, property stuff made me think about it. Like, I've seen videos before of, like, the replicating civilization in Minecraft, blah, 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 all that. But I feel like a lot of those are a bit incomplete in the sense that they're trying to replicate current civilization in Minecraft instead of trying to let a Minecraft civilization develop, right? I feel like what would make a lot more sense than like the main one that I've seen where they have 4 phases and they have to go through the different phases and stuff. I feel like it'd be much more interesting to see how they developed with less supervision and more of just, all right, we're plopping down 50 people in this place. We'll give you some method of reproduction or something like that, but you yourself, once you die, you're out. And also maybe give them a limited lifespan or something. I stepped too far on the edge and the game's mighted me. That's a spot you should have used invisible blocks, man. Yeah, I feel like that would lead to much more interesting results. Now, I do think one thing you have to keep in mind is you have to give the players incentive to be interested in, you know, living out lives in Minecraft beyond just, hey, it's going to be a cool social experience. I feel like you need something a bit beyond that to motivate the players. I don't know what it would be. But, like, if people were actually alive in Minecraft, I don't think it would turn out in the way that the replicating civilizations stuff goes. Because, like, I feel like having the different eras and putting limitations on the players and all that ruins a part of the point of having the experiment in the first place. Because I feel like the main point of the experiment, right, is... hey, we're going to... Hey, I made it up! I don't know where exactly I'm supposed to be headed now, though. Anyway, yeah, back onto what I was saying. I feel like the point of the experiment is to figure out how the players put in safeguards to guarantee they survive and stuff like that. Instead of... some admin being able to come in and, you know, protect them all and stuff like that. Whoa. But yeah. And maybe, you know, I'm wrong and that would kind of never work out. It would be pretty much impossible to make it work out. Because the one problem is, you know, some people are greedy by nature and stuff like that, and that plagues current civilization and stuff like that. And some people are just, you know, not good people. But I feel like you'd need an ideal experiment would find a way where the players within the bounds of Minecraft find a way to kind of deal with that themselves. Whether it's, you know, finding a way to imprison them, or, you know, handing out life sentences and stuff like that for crimes or whatnot. I feel like it would end up really fascinating to see what a player base that has to deal with that would end up coming up with to prevent crime and to protect themselves, say, against neighboring nations that want their stuff and all that. Like, I just really think that a well-built civilization experiment would be really cool. But as I was mentioning, you need some sort of motivation for the people playing it. Like some reason why they want to survive longer. Without making it too competitive. Because if you make it too competitive, then you run into the problem of, you know, people will be more than willing to fight each other. Oh, I wasn't supposed to drop down. Ow. We'll be more than willing to fight each other to try to make sure they are the last one left. Oh, oops, I stinking ran forward again. Like, it would ultimately probably turn into more of a Battle Royale Hunger Games type thing. If you just made it, whoever's last gets a prize. I feel like you get some danger there. Maybe set it up where whoever, like, there's a prize associated with how long you survive rather than, but not in a ranking system. So, like, you survive 20 minutes, you might, you know, get something for it. Granted, it'll be probably more on the day basis. Like, you survive 30 days, you get, you know, get a lollipop. But, like, it would also be really interesting to see, like, in a world like Minecraft, what other different kinds of government would players come up with? Or would they be more willing to go with and to try to survive in more of an anarchy type system? Or, you know, how would things go with stuff like that? Oh, there's a silver box here that I can actually open for once. And, like, this is the sort of thing that I feel like obviously I wouldn't have the resources to set up something like this. I feel like the only sort of people that would be, like, people like Mr. Beast that have, you know, a lot more resources behind him. Like, he could very easily go, you know, okay, we're going to bring 500 players in and, you know, if you survive to X date, you get X money. It'd be much easier for a guy like Mr. Beast to do something like that. Oh. I was a bit confused there. Oh. But yeah, I would be... Like, that's just the sort of thing that I really want to see. And I can speculate all I want on how it would turn out, but ultimately I feel like it would be pretty hard to predict how that sort of thing would turn out, just because it's not something that's ever really been done on that sort of scale, in my opinion, in the right way before. Because the problem with anything like that is, you know, obviously you got hardcore Minecraft, which can kind of replicate it to some degree, but the problem is in hardcore Minecraft, you know, you don't have that much motivation to survive for much longer. I do think some limits would have to be set, though, like maybe removing enchants from the game. No. Like I do feel like enchants would be a bit broken, because once you get enough enchants, it makes it very hard to kill you. Like I feel like enchants can be a bit broken, but I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe part of the deal is on what would make it interesting would be just giving full control in survival Minecraft and seeing what these people come up with. There's nothing up here. That's really helpful. Didn't even give me an advancement. But yeah, like I personally think that, you know, a lot of people would probably try to form both socialist and democratic societies very quickly. I don't think any more republic type systems would pop up very quickly, just because even though it's one of the styles that has definitely seen a lot more success in real life, it's not a system that people very quickly jump upon. Especially in situations like this. But I would definitely be interested to see, you know, how the different civilizations would stack up against each other and stuff like that. I do think one thing you'd have to do is probably make food grow a little slower and stuff like that, and also make hunger deplete faster. So then that way people have to be a bit more focused on food than they are in normal Minecraft. And obviously you'd have to limit the size of the world to accommodate whatever player base size you have. So there would have to be some minor tweaks. I don't think just 100% vanilla Minecraft would work perfectly. But I think having stuff like forcing people to have more focus on food would definitely up the kind of pressure put on people to form together in more civilizations where, you know, they can farm together and maintain larger fields and stuff like that working together. And it would be much easier to, say, have one person mining and 3 people farming than to sustain all of them than to have one person farming and mining and just stuff like that. So, like, what would happen with more specialization in certain skills and stuff like that? I don't know. I've just really gone down this, and this really intrigues me. Like, I'm at a point now where I feel like if I had enough of a fan base to set something like that up, I would be in the process right now of going, all right, who's signing up? And, you know, getting stuff together for it. Sadly, I don't, you know, have enough people to actually set up something like that. But, yeah. Just too bad. Like, this is the sort of idea that I've had that would, in my opinion, turn out fantastic. And I would really like to see somebody get it done. But yeah, like I'm trying to think what else would be necessary after you know, I presume slow down tick speed at that point and also increase hunger. Because I think what would be really interesting is obviously in normal vanilla Minecraft, everybody can just kind of go survive on their own. So I do think you need some form of motivation to force people to form civilizations. I feel like the 2 main methods would either be to shrink the world by enough or make food such a dire problem that it's hard to successfully gather enough food by yourself to survive, and you kind of need to group up to get enough food. The only problem is, like, the lack of need to specialize in Minecraft. Like, in Minecraft, you can just kind of do everything yourself, and everybody kind of knows how to do everything themselves. So maybe my idea of having it in vanilla Minecraft wouldn't work. I think you might need some minor tweaks to the game with the way specifically the food system works and the way that possibly generation works. Because part of the problem is you can get perfectly arable land anywhere in Minecraft pretty much without much problem. And with that, you can, you know, farm and do whatever. And then also the problem of the lack of need for specialization in Minecraft. So I feel like the other thing that might be cool is make it where, like, add in skill levels, but not like a total overhaul like most mods that try that stuff do. Just make it where, like, you add in a couple more tiers of tools just because you kind of need it at this point. And make it where there's a smithing skill that involves making tools and stuff like that, and it takes a really long time to get a high enough smithing tool skill to, say, even get copper tools. So in that way, people have to work on it for a long time to advance their civilization up. And then, like, I feel like you could even branch beyond that a little bit with, say, you know, then somebody that knows how to make copper tools can teach another person how to make copper tools faster than they would learn it on their own. But I don't know how you'd incorporate all that in. I don't know. Anyway, I've gotten really deep down this civilization idea. And this is the sort of stuff that, frankly, I'll probably think about more on my own, but I should probably focus on the map right about now. Oh, snap. That's a... Oh, my goodness. This is insanity. Okay, it's more off to this side. Oh, my word. I hate droppers. Oh, I had the right spot pretty much. Nice. There we go. I hate how much dropper stuff is getting added in. It kind of makes sense. Like, kind of the idea of the map appears to be, you know, as you go up the pyramid, you're also using the base parts of the pyramid as well, not just the tops of the pyramid. That appears to be kind of how they're doing it. So, you know, as a result, it's... That's jump boost, right? Yeah. And slow fall? What? And it's infinite. I have to parkour up the glowstone. Whee! This is going to be a pain. I hate these sort of things. Okay, and the slow fall is making this even worse. Because it takes so long to get to down to wherever you're going if you take a shorter jump. Didn't jump there. Still got where I wanted to go. Whoa. Okay. This is fine. Everything is fine. This is not completely miserable and horrible. Or at least I'm going to keep telling myself that. Oh, snap. At least we're at a point now where if we miss our jump, there's kind of enough glowstone around that we can land back down. Please tell me this is it right here. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness it's gone. The jump boost is gone. I don't think I would mind jump boost as much if I sat down and like set up a jump boost 2 beacon in a survival world and just played around it for long enough. I think the main problem I have with jump boost is I'm so not used to moving around with it, and the base movement I'm used to completely avoids, you know, ever jumping above a single block. And I've gotten so comfortable with that that it's increasingly made it more difficult to use jump boost because I'm so comfortable with a system that doesn't use it. That is terrifying. Pretty sure that's glass, but I'm still jumping over that. It scares me too much. These levels are getting more and more insane. I think I was... Oh, I was scratching my nose. I think I was right to not finish this all in one episode, because it's looking like it would have been a bit longer than an hour and 40 minutes. Because we've been averaging about a minute a level, but we're a bit over that now. It's getting much longer per level. Slime. Yeah. Yeah, like we were actually averaging a little under a minute per level. But yeah. I mean, the last Parkour Pyramid video did pretty well, if I remember properly. Although, frankly, anything parkour related on the channel has been doing really well lately, and I really appreciate it, guys. Like, pretty much 50 views on any parkour video I release lately, which is just insane. And sometimes, you know, it's up to a couple thousand, which just completely unthinkable for where my channel was just a couple months ago. So I just really want to mention that I appreciate that. Which we'll get more in depth on that for 500 subscriber special. Which I want to do a 24-hour stream for my 1,000 subscriber special. I feel like I mentioned that before. I'm not super concerned about, keeping it a surprise or anything. But I still don't know what I want to do for 500. I'm thinking maybe just go simple, go kind of the Q&A route. Like even at, I think it was 200 subscribers when I did my last Q&A. Even at 200 subscribers, I got tons of questions. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is around when I hit 450 in subscribers, I will go onto my Discord channel and go, okay guys, I'm gonna do a Q&A for 500. We'll be there in probably a couple weeks at that point, assuming I keep growing at the pace I have been lately. And go ahead and leave any questions you have, and I'll try and answer them all for the video. I think that's kind of how I'm going to go about it. And, I'll just probably hop on a server that has I held space. A server that has some parkour or something and just do that while I do the Q&A. Or I could also do a live Q&A. But my only problem with that is sometimes live streams, from what I've noticed on YouTube, are really boom or bust. Like, sometimes you'll load up a stream with a title and description. It'll do absolutely horrendously in terms of views and stuff like that. And then you might say use very similar title and description and load up a live stream for it the next day, and you'll get a bunch of concurrent viewers in comparison, and it'll do really well. So my only concern with doing a live Q&A would be I'd be worried that YouTube might just not suggest the stream at all, like they tend to do sometimes. So I feel a bit more comfortable doing a normal Q&A, especially at the point I'm at now where, if the questions are asked prior, it's a bit more difficult for, something to go wrong in that department. I feel like doing stuff like live Q&As will be a bit more of a possibility once, I pass that 1,000 subscriber mark, and, I'll have enough people that watch my channel and are following me that it's not a super, oh, I was supposed to go this way. That wastes so much time. It's not super likely that I'd have a stream with low viewership. At least that'd be my hope. But yeah. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want a Q&A, like, that's already what I think I'm planning on doing. So it'll just, further increase the odds that that is what I end up going with. Yeah. And then maybe, like, now I'm kind of thinking about milestone sort of stuff. Like, I do kind of want to do at some point for some milestone, I want to do a, like, sort of draw my life thing, except for not with drawing because I'm bad at that. But, like, find some other way to do that sort of thing that just kind of, goes over my journey on YouTube mostly and just stuff like that and talks about all that. I feel like that would be really interesting. I just need some form of visual that goes well with it, and that's one of the few things that I don't know if I'd want to go with parkour for. Where to? Oh, over here. Also, guys, this is kind of random. I don't think I've talked about this yet, but Possible Panda, who edits for me sometimes, is making me a parkour map, apparently, and I'm very excited to see what he comes up with. So yeah, remember, I forget when I was saying this, and I doubt anybody else would remember but me, but, like, I remember talking specifically about how, you know, one day I want to be cool enough that somebody will make a map for me. And now it looks like that might actually be happening. And I am really excited. I mean, there's always the chance it won't work out. So I shouldn't get overhyped. But still, really exciting prospect. First time I've ever even had somebody try to do this sort of thing for me. I mean, I guess Nightmare made a parkour map, a parkour deal when we were just hanging out together one day, but that was more of just a kind of, he was bored and was doing something. Okay. I feel like this stream, or not stream, I was talking about streams, and now I have that up. This video has had, my talking has had so little to do with the actual map, which is fairly normal, but it's been like worse today. Like, wait, I'm not going up there yet. That's too dangerous. I think I almost just backtracked a significant different distance. That would have been heartbreaking. Gotta be careful with those iron doors. But yeah, I've just been so focused on other stuff that isn't the parkour. Just, I guess, had a lot on my mind recently. Something like that. One nice thing about recording these sort of videos that, you know, with parkour, there's a bit of freedom to talk more about random stuff while doing it, since there's not all that much commentary necessary for the parkour. So as a result, it, you know, gives more freedom to talk about other stuff. Which I know I've talked about that in particular before, but maybe that's part of why I've enjoyed parkour so much as a form of content creation. Because it gives me something that, you know, I can talk pretty much about whatever I want, while at the same time not recording a bad video. Because I've always kind of been, with recording videos, just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of talk about whatever I want to talk about. So I think finding parkour was a really good thing for me, because it gives me something that, you know, it still fits really well with the recording, and it still gives me room to just kind of talk about what I want to talk about. It's really, like, how do I explain it? It's really kind of nice to just kind of get a chance to go over pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Like, kind of let your thoughts loose, you know? Because that's not something that you always get to do very often. So it's definitely something nice about doing all this. But yeah. I really hope that, you know, the channel continues working out, and I can continue doing this for a pretty long time. No! Wait, that was where I came from. I'm so stupid. That was where I started. That wasn't the exit. That was the stinking entrance. Oh my goodness. I'm so stupid. I have to completely redo this entire level. Oh my goodness, it's heartbreaking. I want to beat this in under 2 hours for the total runtime of the map. I get the feeling that this is probably Helik's most difficult map for kind of normal parkour players. Just because of how many, just the large quantities of spots that, like, if you fail that jump, you're falling back to the start, and just stuff like that, where it's, you know, maybe not super difficult jumps that's the case for, but there's a lot of kind of medium difficulty jumps that if you miss them, you're set all the way back for. And I definitely know some people that I'm not gonna call out by name that would be very likely to fail some of those and likely rage quit from being set back to the beginning so often. Whee! But yeah, we're almost done. Level 97. This has been a fun ride. I'm pretty sure this is gonna have been the longest I've spent on any He-like map once I finish. Because the only one that was similar in length was Parkour Paradise 3, and I'm pretty sure I finished that in like a 50 and a 30-minute video, or like a 50 and a 40-minute video, something like that. Which I've already passed in this with two 50-minute videos. So I'm so stupid sometimes. My word, I reset myself to the start again. But yeah, ow, that really hurt. Yeah, this is gonna have been the longest. I mean, not over Parkour Paradise 3 by leaps and bounds, but compared to all the other maps, definitely leaps and bounds longer. Okay, let's not jump off into the start this time. Let's take the slime block. Okay. Bam. Okay, this section looks nice. It would look a lot nicer if that down there didn't look so terrifying. Yeah, thank goodness that's not a dropper section that I have to go down. I bet you the strategy on a dropper like that would be to find a spot that well, no, because if they connect like that, then you can't go through them. Nah, the strategy for that dropper would be hit escape followed by save and quit to menu. And let's be real, if you do that for that part, that sort of dropper, I think you're the real winner. That scenario. Yeah, I would not want to have to do that. I bet you this level's going to end like towards the bottom, and the last level's going to just be journeying all the way up. Probably going to be like a solid 10-minute level or something. Whoosh. Okay, nice. Well, not quite, but it looks like we're essentially going up Parkour Helix. There's no fence gates, right? Yeah, I made that mistake before. I betcha, yeah, right. Yeah, I have no clue how long this level's gonna take. I'm actually curious. 53 minutes on the recording right now. We'll see where we're at by the end. Because I have a feeling this level's gonna take a second, but maybe not. Like, the main thing that makes me think that is I bet you there's gonna be one or two spots that have a really difficult jump that can reset you. And if I fall on any of those, well, obviously the lava, but that's not difficult jumps. Maybe this won't be too bad. I mean, we're already about halfway done through it. We could do this. Okay. We could do this one try. Just gotta keep going at a good pace without, you know, rushing it. That would have been a jump that could have set us all the way back. That would have been a pretty heartless way to go to. Or not heartless. Heartbreaking way to go. Okay. Nice. I might have overhyped this level a little bit. Maybe, just maybe. I mean, who can blame me? It stinking looks like a full-on version of their other maps in a smaller setting. Oh. Eh! Yeah, that only took a minute and a half. The end. Let's go. This map was a ton of fun. It was really long. My hands kind of hurt. Not my hands, my left hand. I was definitely gripping the keyboard a bit hard on that. A rank. Let's go. I definitely think on the longer ones, it's a bit easier to get A rank than on the shorter ones. Just because on the shorter ones, I think getting the skips is really important to hitting higher ranks, but I don't think it's quite as important for a map like this. Looking down at this though, here, I want to just really quick. I don't have permission. That's awkward. I wanted to hop into spectate and look around. I'm gonna just leap off of an edge and look off. Well, that didn't exactly go as planned. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. This map was so cool. Oh, here we go. We got an elytra. And they got the fireworks. Let's just head out to one corner of it and fly to the other corner, going over the top. I feel like that's the way to do it. Oh my goodness. I parkoured through all of this. That is so trippy. And so much of the actual parkour is hidden underground too. That's the worst part. Like there's so much parkour here that you can't see just by flying around. My word. Like it's so large that it makes the elytra feel slow. Wow. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop getting distracted and actually end off the video. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. This map was so stinking cool. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Bye-bye.